So I quit coffee about 2 months ago. It's almost been 2 months. And in this video, I just want to give you a short update sharing what I've experienced since I quit. I did one other video and I'm going to link to it down below. And in that video, I shared the first 7 to 10 days of my experiences with quitting coffee. One issue that I was having within the first few weeks of quitting coffee is that I felt like I was having issues of brain fog, extra fatigue, and just not thinking very clearly. It did improve a lot within the first 7 to 10 days, but then I feel like it still kind of was lingering a bit, and that seemed to get better around 1 month after quitting. Everybody's going to be different with what they experience. Now, also, a lot of people, when they quit coffee, they end up having a replacement and it makes them feel better, or they like having the ritual. I never really felt the need to have that ritual, but I did replace it immediately with just some ice cold lemon water, and that was helping me, and that's what I was drinking in addition to just drinking this right here, which is normal water. But sometime a few weeks ago, I just stopped drinking it. I don't need it. I don't need this extra other thing to add on to my day. So I feel a lot more free now that I'm just having water. I do drink one other thing that's different during the day after my meals. Sometimes I drink coconut milk, pure coconut milk, no gums added, nothing like that, to try to help me stay full longer and to get in some more fats. And that helps me a lot because I can't have dairy and I'm in ketosis, and it helps me out a little bit. I never had like a lot of thoughts like longing for that coffee. And some people really do have a lot of those cravings and those thoughts and desires and wishing they could have it. I really didn't have that, but maybe I had one moment of temptation, which I talked about in the first video, but since then I've been just completely fine. I really could care less basically. But on the other hand, part of me misses that energy that I had in a way. Like, I know that the energy isn't good, but I was just so used to being overly stimulated and having that fake energy or borrowed energy, whatever you want to call it, that I have missed that. Not every day, not all the time, but I can say that a couple of weeks ago, I went through this weird period that was almost like a second withdrawal period where I don't know if it was more of a thing with my mind or my body, but something was craving the energy that I felt like I would get from caffeine. Like something was craving it and it was consuming my mind a little bit. I wasn't like overly tempted to go drink anything. Oh, I did have one temptation though. I found an old supplement bottle that was a green tea supplement, and it had caffeine in it, and I was really struggling at this time period with some poor sleep, and it was completely unrelated to giving up caffeine. It was because of some issues with mice that got into the house after I had an electrician do some wiring. Even though I fixed the problem, it's like they kept making another problem, the mice, and messing up my sleep. And so this is the big difference. When you don't have caffeine and you didn't get very good sleep, then the next day you got to figure it out. You've got to take a nap, or you've got to just push through it. You got to exercise a little more, do something, but you can't reach for the caffeine. You can't have that crutch. So at that time period though, I found this supplement bottle. I actually totally forgot about it over the last however many weeks it's been since I had this issue, but I found the bottle and it said that it had, I think, up to 30 grams of naturally occurring caffeine. And I was a little bit tempted to try out like a quarter of a pill or a capsule, and I didn't do it though. Amazingly, I really didn't. So I'm like, okay, so I moved on from that, but it did really feel like a second withdrawal period where it was really felt like my body wanting that type of stimulation, that type of borrowed energy that it was used to having for so very long. Finally, I feel like if it's possible that my body or my mind or something is giving up on that and really adapting better finally, now that it's been almost 2 months. And so I am feeling a lot better. I don't feel like I'm having that brain fog as much. I do feel like I miss the way that I feel like I used to be so laser focused, and it's slightly difficult to adjust to that, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to really combat that except by having better habits in my life and being better organized and doing things in certain ways that help me, like I said, having better habits and strategies in place. I have tried a couple of different supplements that are supposed to help, with your mental focus. I also recently, I'm going to be posting a video on this, I've been using an at-home meditation type device to kind of help me regain the ability to focus properly and to concentrate well. And that is the Muse S headband. It's also an at-home EEG device. I will share that in a separate video. Please check it out when the video comes out. It should be this week. But other than that, I have tried different supplements, and I'm not just trying any old supplements. I have had a lot of labs done, so I know my different neurotransmitter levels and different hormone levels, different things. And one thing that some people say benefits them with their ability to focus is tyrosine, or this, which is a precursor that I can't remember how to pronounce this, but I do take this sometimes. I genuinely don't notice a difference when I take this versus when I don't, but I am low on certain things, so I am taking this here and there. I do sometimes take NMN as well, and that is just also such a mild or subtle effect that I barely notice anything. If I take higher amounts, I may notice it. I used to take a supplement from Thorne called Resveratrol. I just need to repurchase this if I want to try it again, which I would really like to do. It really, really helped me with energy levels in the past. It made such a massively noticeable difference. I did a video on it probably like 4 to 5 years ago, sharing what a difference it made. And I just want to give a little warning with that. Certain supplements can give you such a boost in energy. It's not necessarily the placebo effect, even if people tell you that. But for me, personally, the energy is always, I don't want to say like short-lived, but it doesn't last forever because your body adapts. And so that's why it can help to cycle supplements that you're taking and just take them here and there. I've been feeling pretty good because I've incorporated more fitness, more cardio, more arm workouts, everything a lot more into my daily routine. And I've kind of created a nice daily routine, and it's been helping a lot. When it comes to my sleep, the main difference I've noticed since giving up caffeine is that my REM sleep is longer and more noticeable, because every single day since I gave up that caffeine, I have dreams and I remember my dreams. And that's not something that I've had since I was a teenager. And so it's pretty incredible. I like having that. The duration of my sleep hasn't been greatly impacted. I've done several videos on this, and I will do an update video on my sleep coming up. Something that I've done over the last few days has had a really positive effect on my sleep, because I normally wake up at 3 a.m., but over the last 2 days I've slept till 5 a.m. So I'm gonna just keep a detailed log to figure out exactly what I've been doing and what is contributing to that. And I'm gonna talk about that in a different video. When it comes to quitting coffee, I'm still happy that I quit. And I like not being dependent on a drug, a stimulant like that. I really think that coffee is a lot more powerful than people give it credit for. I can't even comprehend how much of an effect it had on me and how much time it's going to take to heal from that. I'm not trying to sound dramatic, but I have very low cortisol levels, and having that coffee just really made things worse for me. And I'm hoping that over time I can heal and my cortisol levels will improve. And then I'm gonna retest probably in 6 months to see how the levels are. And I'm gonna share that with you guys, and I'll share the past levels as well, because they were just on the ground, low, 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 low. Many people will tell you that you don't wanna have high cortisol levels, but you don't also want them to be flatlined low. That's not good either. That can contribute to like chronic fatigue issues. Now, the very last thing I'll say is that I do have Hashimoto's. I don't have any symptoms of it, but it's an autoimmune thyroid disorder that can lead to you having hypothyroid symptoms, which can be fatigue, weight gain. For some people, it's weight loss, like me, things like that. By quitting the coffee, I feel like I didn't realize one thing that I was doing is I was masking a problem with my thyroid by the stimulants. And that's just made things so much worse, and I didn't realize it until more recently when I was thinking about this. I got tested recently, and I'm a little bit hypothyroid, and I feel like for the longest time I actually was a little bit hypothyroid, and what I needed to do was raise my medication amount. I wish I didn't have to be on it. I've done everything I can to try to get off of it, but the truth is Your body needs your thyroid to function. There are many different organs within your body that need it to function, including your kidneys. And if you do not have optimal thyroid hormone levels, it can affect all these other parts of your body. And so as much as I want to quit the thyroid meds, and some people think you can heal yourself, I wish and I hope the best for anybody who tries to do that. You also need to be careful because of the downstream effects. And so what I'm trying to say is I didn't realize that I was masking the fact that I was under medicated by having more caffeine. And it's just a bad cycle. So I've raised my thyroid medicine recently. It's going to take time for that to take effect, but I think it's going to be really helpful as well. And that can also help clear up issues of brain fog and issues that I could be associating with getting off of the coffee. Fatigue issues, stuff like that, are all related to being hypothyroid. So it's important to take a look at your thyroid levels. If you have a doctor who is just looking at the normal labs and not looking at what the optimal levels are, then you really need a new doctor. That's my 2-month update on quitting coffee. If you have quit coffee, please share your experiences down below. I'd love to hear what your experiences have been and how you're feeling about it. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.